Glorious day to you, my friends. Kotokuruhuchaya atari hisana tiari hakata tiariata. Welcome to Shine, Stargate Heart, Illuminate Your Natural Essence, Niarioko Chokoria Toto, where we are exploring our inner being. Kyokohura atarna tiara hakaya charatura. I hear you, my friend. Niara achikuru hutotoresha. Trust me, I feel you. No to urieshkatura haika nariarata. Where we're exploring our inner being, using the magical chant Om Mani Padme Hum. We're chanting it 108 times using the Mala of Joy, and we are on day number 54 of 108. At the end of today, we are halfway there. In the Mala of Joy, we are breaking up the 108 seeds at 108. Just laughing at the crow. Inviting us to the inner realms, our inner being. Inviting us to some call it the shadow side, some call it Niyati Uruhushukutut, the higher wisdom, Niyariachikataka, the understanding of ourselves in this humanness. Nitukut uta at achi ta atya. Yeah. Thank you. Where that one came from. Uturahasha atakari hitari ashkana uruhutara hatata. Yeah. So, we'll get back to Mr. Crow there in a second. Okay. I'm trying to remember which days they are. Maybe you guys remember. There was one during Manipura where they put me in this whole diatribe of what each of the chakras are and what our inner being is hopefully teaching us from each of the chakras. And then I can't remember if it was not yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever, talking about the higher information available, the reality that you are creating with your mind 2 or 3 days ago. I cannot remember. But Mr. Crow and Spirit was talking about it on the way here. And I have been seeing, I can't remember exactly which of the sacred symbols it is, the Triketra, Niaretakario, Utorio, Chuuratatariata. I've been seeing many of them, and I channeled a message last, a poem. I channeled a poem last Lionsgate 8-8. While I was in Mount Shasta. Let me try to draw it. It's like 3 segments of a circle. It's like 4 of them. Sharing their wisdom. So it's 3 concentric circles, or not concentric, three circles that are intersecting and creating those 3 different arcs, the triketra. I'm pretty sure it's called a triketra. And I cannot remember the poem by heart, but the essence of it was that this battle between the light and the dark, this battle between good and evil, and our mind and our judgment talking about and convincing us to pick a side between good and evil, between light and dark. But the hidden truth of it all is that the people on Yes, I'm considering you, my friends, Nia Tekirio Toto, that you consider yourself on the side of the light, in the side of the right, in the side of the good. Does not matter which side you are on. You think your side is righteous. You think you're on the right, and you think you are in the right, and you think that the other side is the bad. No matter who calls each other light or dark or right or wrong or good or evil, the fingers are pointing at the other side. And there is only blame on the other side. All of our woes are over there. Let us quash that. Let us invade. Let us destroy that evil on the other side. They are the evil. But guess what? Guess what? Let me do a little camera trick here. The other side is saying the same thing. It's them, it's them, it's them over there. They're the ones who are wrong. They're the evil. They're the wrong. We're righteous. Now I'm going to put myself in the middle. By only aligning with the divine, the inner being, our inner being, and divine, whatever you call divine. And hopefully your self-appointed righteousness from your ego and from your belief system, from your programming, hopefully you're not aligning with that. Your heart is going to tell you what your divinity is. Your heart is going to point you towards your joy and your alignment with your divinity. And by aligning with the divine, can we we can align within. We just hit 717. 7 is alignment. 1, unity. With the true light. And the true light can only be found in your heart center. It can be found in God, yeah, but not our preconceived notion of who God is. God talks to us through our heart, through our clear intuition, guiding our thoughts. But by listening to our heart, we can listen to God. If you believe in that idea of separation, we are not separate from God, but we experience the separation. Just like all my friends who I have not seen, even though I've been here almost 3 weeks in Rochester, I'll be here another 2 weeks. We will try to get to you. It does not mean I do not love you. And if I have not communicated, it does not mean that I do not love you. And it does not mean that you are not a priority to me. Every plan that I have made with forethought, with consciousness, with a good heart, have fallen apart. Because the love that was needed in this now took priority over my plans that I created. I had so many grand plans that all went by the wayside. The only consistency is me listening to the now, trying to apply. Notice how I said trying to apply the love that's needed in this now. Sleep has taken a backseat like it always does when I come to Rochester. the time for myself in the morning meditation, has been fruitful to me. This series, has been fruitful to me. Hopefully it has been fruitful to you, as I attempt to be this human, as well as a divine being. If I have ever told you I loved you, I still love you. No matter what. Haturu Ushanahata Arakahasa Ayakatura Hatata. Those Hata crows aren't here anymore. So we talked about the shadow side. Sometimes the shadow side is that uncomfortable conversation with ourselves. Sometimes the shadow is us shining our internal light on our ego, our thoughts, our attachment, any of the blockers of the chakra, the attachment, any of the illusions that we're causing, including this separation, any of the lies that we're telling ourselves or that we're listening to from other people or that we are agreeing with, the grief that we're suffering. Trust me, trust me, I have lost. And I can choose to wallow in the grief, or I can choose to deal with it. One of the ways that I was dealing with grief, with my the loss of my sister and the suffering of my other sisters and the suffering of my niece because of it, I go to the local grocery store and I sing and dance with my niece. She is a phenomenal dancer. And she just needs to have her inner being shine. She's got too many other issues going on in her life, which is why I made her a mala of joy. And we did one of the blessings of the day together while holding hands with the mala of joy in our hands. And then other blockers that we can shine our own internal light upon is the blocker of Manipura, our solar plexus chakra. It is that shame, because we have done things that are bad, and we know that, so we haven't dealt with it, so we're dealing with our shame. Well, lay all of it in front of you and love and accept your whole self. Acknowledge that you are human, that you make mistakes. Maybe talk about it with whomever that you did that bad thing against. Hug it out. Whatever it is. You letting go of it is important. And Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, the blocker is guilt. And again, we're feeling bad about what we have done, and we feel that we're not worthy. And whether you want to flip the guilt or shame into the other chakras, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, they're blockers of you being awesome, which is why we deal with this shadow self of ourselves. It's a part of us. It's a part of our contrast. It's a part of us listening to our inner guidance system by aligning with joy. Hakata, yep, that triangle again. Nioro Ushakutara Hakananiarata. One day I'll look it up again and I'll talk about it in, it's just us. The Hakata triangle, Nioryochukutukuri, is dealing with the three knots that we create for ourselves in yoga. Yoga calls them knots and gives us many, many, many different ways of getting past them. Reiki teaches us other things. The Reiki ideals talks about just for today, I shall not anger. That just for today part is more powerful than the anger part and focusing on letting go of the anger. Because it gives us permission. It gives us permission to, oh, right now I can choose not anger. And I can be angry in the future. And I was just angry moments ago. And it's okay. And it does the same thing with the future. Just for today, I shall not worry. And 2 seconds ago, I was worrying about the future, about how I was going to have a conversation with somebody that I was worried about having it because whether it was guilt or shame that I have to talk about it with, or whether it's grief that's going on inside, or whether it's an illusion, or whatever it is, just for today, or just for now. Do not worry. They were the most powerful things for me when learning Reiki. It was more powerful than the energy itself. Just reciting. Anytime I got angry or worried, I recited the Reiki ideals. And that helped me focus and get over it. And there's times that happens right now, and I'm not jumping on the Reiki ideals. And so I find that I'm being more human and dwelling in that energy for several minutes before I decide to jump out of it for whatever other reason it is. So maybe this is the invitation for me to call on the Reiki ideals more often. Then Muladhara and the blocker of fear and doubt. Fear is one of the biggest things that we have to deal with all the time. 1744, 1, 7, and 4 are about Vyapini, the solfeggio frequency for the goddess who is everywhere, the soul star chakra, but those 3 digits can be swapped around for each of the allow the true self solfeggio triangle, because it's the soul star chakra, then down 3, 1, 2, 3, true, truth, allow, true, and then down 3 more, heart center, solar plexus, and sacral, svadhisthana, where the self is established. It's all about self, to allow true self. The only way we can figure out who our true self is by listening to our heart center, exactly what we're doing in this Shine series. And by tapping into the manas of our mind, this ability and power of our focus and awareness. Going to swap leg positions. The power of our mind. After stretching my legs, okay, apparently I had them right in, left out, so we're going left in and right out, but maybe it's telling me I did the same thing. It is what it is. But the manas, our mind, if we talk about it within the idea of Antakarana, like I did a couple days ago, maybe it was even yesterday, where it's only one small factor of our mind, our consciousness. Our heart center is the seat of our consciousness, and we can say it's the seat of it, or we can say it is our consciousness. But and that's where our higher self lives. And which is why we want to listen to it. Because it's really who we are. And by aligning with that divinity, our true, authentic self, and listening to what our heart has to say, our higher self, our inner being, whoever, our God, our source within. It's the source of our bright light. It's the source of our holy fire. It's the source of our consciousness. Why wouldn't we want to listen to it? You know, at the beginning of listening to our heart center, it's hard to apply the wisdom from our heart into everyday life because we're so used to being this other human that's listening to all the programming that everybody has given us. Kunata atahara hatakatar haskanaha. And that's the tough part. But by aligning with our inner being, our joy, we can discern between this false darkness and this false light, who only want to argue with each other, who only want to point to each other, and they are both extremes of contrast. And it doesn't matter which one you're assigning your joy, your ecstasy, or your pleasure with, it does not matter. Both consider themselves righteous, both have their own ego, both have their own energy. And your heart center also has its own energy. It's the energy of unconditional love. It's the energy of consciousness. It's the energy of I can do anything. We can do anything that we set our mind to. We can do anything that we set our focus to. That when we focus our awareness either as this identity of individual or as a collective consciousness, as a community of individuals that are sitting together in a circle and doing things together, it is focus, it's awareness, and your awareness is gathered together, gathering more energy in this type of reality. But remember from a couple of days ago, you created your own chakras. You created your own filter on how you see the energy that is around you that you say is physical. So clearly, I'm talking to myself right now. So that is a part of manifestation. There they are again. Because when we ask it from the universe, it is given immediately. And Abraham Hicks talks about the only thing left to do is become a vibrational match to it. Being a vibrational match to it means that our filter, how we see the energy, we're aligned with it. We're vibrating on the same frequency, so therefore we see it. There's a robin over there hopping around. Getting a meal. It's our filter. And all these ideas of problems and obstacles, we can choose a different filter for seeing them, and we can then easily move past them and through them, just like the irresistible force, because any immovable object stands no chance against the irresistible force, especially if the irresistible force chooses not to interact with it. And that's all the whole idea behind frequency, vibration, and our awareness. As we raise our vibration, we are changing our filter on how we see this physicality, and all those things that are right there in our vortex now become available because we see them. The energy that is around us just so happens to be of the vibration of what we manifested. It doesn't matter if it was 2 minutes ago. It doesn't matter if it was 1 nanosecond ago. It does not matter if it was 5 years ago, 12 years ago. No tukuriya tukurshkatiya. There are still manifestations that I'm working on that are over a decade old. No utukursha atara akanato urhariyata. Konoto uruhatara. Just listening, I'm hearing silence. Normally the silence is time to meditate because they're done talking. Ni uruhatshikatawata arihakatatara. Gashihikutukuriatara nahdakaryata. One final thought is that the shadow side of us. So thank you, the four crows. The four watchers, the archangels of the four directions. I'm facing south, so east, Michael and Aldebaran, the watchers of the east, and the people of the east. The spring equinox, coming up on the south. The summer solstice, the people of the south, the deer. I mean, not the deer. They were the deer, the east. The wolf people. Archangel Raphael and Regulus, the star Regulus. And to the west. And clearly I want to meditate. Archangel Uriel, or Uriel, and Antares, the heart of the scorpion. The scorpion is mother energy. And the people of the west, the bear people, in the north, the winds of the north, the people of the north, the Tanka, the buffalo, death and rebirth, the land of the three dreams, Archangel Gabriel, and Fomalhaut, part of the big fish, drinking all the water that's being poured out by Aquarius, the excess water that would flood the earth. They're also the secrets of the four blockers of our heart center. It's the shadow of our own doubt. And anything that is keeping us from listening and being with our heart center. But it really is, the shadow side of us is really just the wisdom of us. The wisdom to choose more wisely, to choose more aligned with our inner being. To choose as our inner being prefers, as our source within prefers. To choose joy, to choose happy, to choose health, to choose healing, to choose unity, to choose benevolence, to choose free will and the respect of free will, to choose loving kindness, to choose compassion, to choose joy, to choose harmony. All these tools of our mind, are simply us training ourselves to believe in the little engine who could, that's inside. Water is life, my friends. Instead of all those broken down engines outside that are saying, you can't do it. No, you are unworthy. How could you do that? This is how you are supposed to be. This is how you are supposed to act. You should do this. You should do that. If we listen to our inner being, we will learn not to should on ourselves, and we will learn to not should on others. Aren't you sick and tired of rubbing the should out of your eyes? Aren't you sick and tired of rubbing the should out of your ears? No matter how much you love the people who are telling you you should or should not do something, there is a loving response to that. Besides that, it is my life. It is my heart that I am listening to. I love you so much. And I love everything that you have taught me, but I need to listen to my heart, and I need to love from my heart. Can't top that. So, before diving into meditation, I record one Om Mani Padme Hum before, and I record one after. Most of the time it is immediately before and immediately after. Sometimes logistics causes it to be a little bit after. Today I tried to lie down and chant. Near impossible for me to do so. One, because neti potted today, because of the smoke, because of the pollen, the rain was coming up. So it's moving the liquid that's inside to different locations. So it's harder to do that. It was harder to breathe. It was harder to focus. So even before I got to the heart, I jumped up and I sat again in seated meditation, and my focus was back. My breath was back. Our ability to decide. Instead of stick with a failing plan, to check off the box of completion. I don't know who that one was for. Maybe it was for me. Na ashaha arihokotora hatura ukanahatetierhata. So I invite you to relax. Whether you're lying down, whether you're sitting, seated in sitting meditation, or you're doing some sort of moving meditation. I invite you to do so with a straight spine. So that the energy flows more freely. Whether you are chanting or whether you are listening and just experiencing your inner being, you are benefiting. Asuhuturu ukanata arihetatura hasanati arta. And let us focus our awareness on our breath. Nihotora hokanata ariarta kanahatitaha. Focusing on the breath is another one of our manastra, our mind tools. No utur hashikatuguriata. And it assists other tools of the mind. Ni achata atahariata urhukanahata tiraha. Achkohana arhisora atahiri arahanati arata. As we slowly deepen our breath, and we slowly exhale. As we feel how it feels as we inhale, and we feel how it feels when we exhale. As we feel the cool air filling up our lungs, as we feel the warm air exhaling from our lungs. And let us focus our awareness on our heart centers. For in our heart centers is the home of our holy fire. And the holy fire is the source of our bright light. Our true light. In every breath that we take with intention and focus, brightens our already bright light, and restores our belief in our light, as we invite and allow the holy fire to flow in, through, and around us in every way, and everywhere, and every when. Completely, effortlessly, naturally. Asking the holy fire to only allow in that which is for our highest good and the highest good of all. Now let us create in our mind's eye a chest of our creation. Hushoyo o kutura hanata arahatatita. Let us put inside this chest all of our anger, all of our fears, all of our worry, all of our doubts, all of our to-do lists, all our shopping lists, all of our guilt, all of our shame, all of our grief, and all these ideas of who we should be, and what we should do. Let us also put in everything that we're going to do the rest of the day, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, anytime anything that happened already today, yesterday, anytime in the past, anytime in the future, in the Oriochokohuta Tatahiriataha. Let's also ask our inner being to put inside Niariachakatahurata what it feels no longer serves. Nihokochakata Rahakanadiarata. And what might distract us from our chant, from our breath, from our meditation, and from our time with ourselves. Nihakutura, Ashana Hasihara, Aratokonoro, Tutura, Haya Akanata Tatiariata. And let us close this chest, Niarachuko Utukuratata, and let us set it aside. Niara Hashaka Taarahaturariata. It will be there for you at the end of meditation. Niakochakatariataka. If you so desire. Niatakatakariatuko. And do not be surprised if some of the things in this chest are no longer there, because you truly release them. Niariachukoto. And they truly no longer serve. Nihotura Hasha Ayakataraha. Hiso Tunanara Arhanaturaha. Kanati it arahatara, kanadata arahashiata, hisoto tananati arihata. And if we have not done so already, I invite you to start the divine flow. Niariochuko utatatiariatata. Let us take the energy from our heart centers. Niariochuko hotokoriatata. Let us get more pure holy fire. And let us also purify the chakras, both upward and lower, by moving it up through the chakras, through Vishuddha, Anya, Sahasrara, Vyapini, moving up through the realms of consciousness, these ideas of separation, and into the realm, into the highest source of consciousness, the home of the holy fire, the home of unconditional love, the home of non-judgmentalness, where there is no ego, where it always respects free will, and where the power is unlimited. Nuhukota arahashaya akanoto urahakattyurto. And let us bring back more pure holy fire. Purifying the chakras, down, down, down through the realms, through Vyapini, Sahasrara, Anya, Vishuddha, and back into Anahata, our heart center. Niariachakatura hutananata ariatakuhata. Thoroughly mixing the energies in all of the chakras. Thoroughly purifying the energies in all of the chakras. And let us move this combined energy down through the chakras, purifying the lower chakras, nihakaturiyacha, and grounding this energy effectively. Nohutura akanatiyarata. Moving it down through Manipura, Svadhisthana, Muladhara, Nearyochakotora, Vasundhara, and growing roots down into Mother Earth, Nihatikiriatata, down into Gaia, down, 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 deep into the heart of Gaia, Nihiriyachakatakoro, wrapping those roots around the heart of Gaia, giving her a great big hug, and bringing back her grounded love, up through the root system, purifying Vasundhara, Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, and back into Anahata, our heart center. Thoroughly combining this energy, and let us turn over to our inner being to continue this divine flow without any conscious thought, naturally, effortlessly, completely. Nihurota akaya hatananati arihakachoro hoto. Arskanahata arshahe artukuta atana atara arshahaya oshanata ariakotoraha. And now, on the out-breath, with intention, the Ariyachukohoto, let us push this purified energy out from our heart center, Niariyachukohoto Kuryata, out of all of our chakras, Nihakatara Haskatiarata, out of our physical bodies, Nihikachukuryotoko, out of our personal energetic field, our aura, our light body, Nihituta Aryatakashkariata, shining this light out into every aspect of our awareness. Nihatiara ta arskana atura, arskishiara atuta anahatiriarata, harihakanata, utahariatokoda. So hukutadiariatatara hanata arahutara. We will start off with one Aum, the primordial sound of the universe. We shall chant Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times on the 8 count, using the mala of joy. And the default chanting track will let us know when we are moving up through the chakras and when we're on the last one. And we will again close out with one Aum. A few more breaths. And a breath in for Aum. Aum. Starting off with Vasundhara. And a breath in to chant.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Atutaharaha Ashanahatikashai Utoro
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Utoro Hakaihishaya Arkanahatar Hasanahai
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Atura Unahaturaha Shahiko Urahana
Om Mani Padme
Hushanata
Hum.
Arahitora Anahatari Hishkadara Ahionota Ora Hokoto
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Arhaihutora Honata Arahe Hata Arhasha Akiroho Urahanahasaya
Om Mani
Arhakayasha
Padme Hum.
Aturo Hukonoro Ashaana Hakatiraha
Om Mani
Hanatiti
Padme
Arhasukutu
Hum.
Rohata Arhashana Atirakuto Ushaya Atikari Hishudo
Om
Ushana
Mani Padme Hum.
Anahasaka Ahashia Arwahakatara
Om Mani Padme
Ushanahati
Hum.
Tikiara Haturahana Arakanahatitaha Hatura
Om
Shanahati
Mani Padme Hum.
Aranahatitita Arhushoyo Otonora Hukata Anatatara Atatidaha
Om Mani
Arhukushoyo
Padme Hum.
Utumunoro Hukotora Haturu Utanahatara Hakatira
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Ataraha. Moving up to Muladhara. Konoto
Om
Uhushaya
Mani
Akahali
Padme
Chayatur
Hum.
Hutanata Arhisa Atukurho Utanata Arhi Arharshaya Akanahasi
Om Mani
Aturu
Padme
Ukonahataru
Hum.
Harhashaya Arkanahasira Atara Akanahasara purusha hayatarita Arakanahatara Ishara Arakuhonoro Ukutora Hatara Anahakayara Arashahaya Akuhono Orhotota Harahita Atakanahataraha Arahukoshoyo Huturu Anate Ita Atkanaharaha Atuhurhotadara Kanahashaya Arahukuturho Shahikaturo Nahata Arhatita Konoto Uhutaha Kanahashira Matakarihisa Aturu Huna Atiarahata Kashanahataraha Arkohonotora Kuhuru Ushanahatitaha Konohotara Hata Asha Atokoraya Atitahaya Aturo Mani Padme Kashihita Anahakaya Kashahayako Utohorota Hashanahasa Anahakaya Taraha Kanahatetirihata Kushuhukono Otanahatida Aturu Mani Padme Hataka Atahanari Hisa Etoro Huturu Ukanahataraha Arakanahashaye Shoyo Huturu Unotaha.
Moving up to Svadhisthana.
Konoto Urhututaha Shayataraha Kashihikotoro Atanahataraha Yekoto Huturu Ukanahataraha Haturahayata Hatukonata Arhashayato Huturu Ushanahatitira Anahakayata Arhatiti Anahaturu Hukuturu Kanawata Arhahita Akana Ate Arhaturu Anahatakari Hisakari Ashaharahuturu Ashanahatitira Hatara Nahakahe Achuahatituko Kanahatetiaraha Aturu Shanahaturaha Akanahataraha Aturu Anunohota Shanahatitaha Haturu Kanahatura Shaya Kanaharaha Akanahataraha Tita Konoto Urhuta Nahatarihita Shohukotora Shihisa Yayahanata Kanatitaha Arhukonoroha Tatuto Unahatitaha Kashahanataraha Kanato Urhokota Haturo Husha Isa Nahati Arhuta Hatahur Hasana Atita Shahikutorahana Arakunahasiriata Turu Anati Arhata Kanata Arhakaihe Arakushohyokonara Achuhuturu Anaha.
Moving up to Manipura.
Huturu Ukanahatitaha Kanata Arhayata Arakuhonata Arha Achuru Unahatitaha Kanata Hatuhurhatara Hatitaha Anahasiria Anahaturu Ushayaka Arhana Anatitirahataraha Achahotor Unahatatiria Anata Arshata Anachi Ushahanarira Haturu Unahaturu Hukayaha Anata Arha Arkonotoro Hutoro Shana Tiarihadora Hatuta Anahati Diaraha Kashihikarana Aturu Kotora Hatani Aturu Unahata Arihita Hatata Nahaya Ashahayako Otoro Atuhara Hasira Anati Tiri Arahatatora Kushahanataka Arhikotorahana Manitari Atara Atita Arhatitaha Ashohokodora Anahakayata arahitoro.
Om
Uturu
Mani
unahatita.
Padme Hum.
Kashahayanaha. Arahakotoro hona. Itara. Anahasi.
Om
Arihakotoro
Mani
hurto.
Padme Hum.
Achuhonota orahatkaya. Kanata atiheriata.
Om
Harshuhuko.
Mani Padme Hum.
Atuhuru. Hanahatikaha. Arnahasaya.
Om
Shuhunuru
Mani Padme
Kaniti
Hum.
inaha.
Moving up to Anahata.
Kuturu
Om
hutanani.
Mani Padme Hum.
Konoto urhatata anhatitaha. Kanata ara.
Om Mani
Atarya
Padme
shanatitya.
Hum.
Arya ka ana. Arya shotora. Atara
Om
akanata arita.
Mani Padme
Atora ashana.
Hum.
Artuko shoyota aryato. Atur ushanatiyara.
Om
Atiyara
Mani
asana.
Padme Hum.
Atura ashanata atka. Atur okono otoyarato.
Om Mani
Arwa ashaya
Padme
katana.
Hum.
Arshuko urata. Arya akahasa. Atur
Om
shanoto arta.
Mani Padme
Atuna
Hum.
atiyarya. Arshuko noto urta. Atur okanata.
Om
Arshayaka.
Mani Padme Hum.
Otor okana atiyarya. Iska atiyarya. Konoto
Om
ora.
Mani
Artukushka
Padme
ayo.
Hum.
Atur okono orta atiyara. Atukonota.
Om
Aryashayaka.
Mani
Atur
Padme
okana
Hum.
atiyara. Atur okanata. Arshuko ana.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Atoto okana atariye. Atura ashaya.
Om
Atana
Mani
atariya.
Padme
Arshkana
Hum.
atiyara. Aturu o shanata. Aryaka ana.
Om Mani Padme
Anahata.
Hum. Moving up to Vishuddha.
Turu
Om
ukana
Mani
sisira.
Padme Hum.
Aryakanahata araha. Arkonoro okotoroha. Aturu
Om
nahatiriya.
Mani Padme Hum.
Akahnara atir hartana. Arkonoroho. Arhokotora hashaya.
Om Mani
Aturu.
Padme
Huta
Hum.
harhitara hatitaha. Anahakaya ashaya akotoroho.
Om
Utura
Mani
hanati.
Padme
Konorohokoto.
Hum.
Hutur unahatita hata. Arkonahari.
Om
Arkanahatura ashaya.
Mani Padme Hum.
Ashohonoto orhokotora hatia. Akaheshia hanahase.
Om Mani
Urakaheta
Padme
anahati.
Hum.
Athuro o shanahatakahe. Arkahanata.
Om
Shoyoto
Mani Padme
Haturu
Hum.
unahatat anahatita. Hartakusha uyoto orhonata. Yashahanata
Om
arhika.
Mani Padme
Haya atana
Hum.
atare. Hakuro o hanata arhita. Inahata
Om
arhikatara.
Mani
Anahakahera.
Padme Hum.
Shahanata arhitoro. Huturo o kanahatiraha.
Om
Anahakashira
Mani
hakata.
Padme Hum.
Arahokonoro. Atuhonara archiara. Anahisa ayako.
Om Mani
Kanata
Padme
arhicharaha.
Hum.
Anahakotoro hukata. Aturo unahata arhishkataha.
Om
Kahinata.
Mani Padme
Anaha.
Hum. Moving up to Anya.
Konoto
Om
urhutatari
Mani
nata.
Padme
Ashaya
Hum.
ka ataraha. Atukurahaya tanariata. Hatur
Om
unahatarhishia.
Mani
Atahanata
Padme
arhika.
Hum.
Aturo hukonoro. Anahata Harieto Koraha.
Om
Kanahata
Mani
Arishaya.
Padme
Atuhuruhuka
Hum.
Tarita. Hatiri Arianahatara. Kashihio Koroho. Aroha Chiaraha.
Mani
Konoto Ota
Padme
Hatiriha.
Hum.
Atukori Hataraha. Arshahanata Uruhukotora.
Om
Kashihisa
Mani
Kanatiareha.
Padme Hum.
Uruhukotoraha. Arshanahakeyaha. Aturo Hanata Atati.
Om Mani
Atakiti
Padme
Arihatata
Hum.
Ursha. Kanahatara Hakaya. Kashuhuturo Anahatitaha.
Om
Arhutsoto
Mani
Utanahaturaha.
Padme Hum.
Kanahatiri Ariata. Kashahe Kanata Arhiso. Huturo
Om
Kanata Arhita.
Mani Padme Hum.
Kanata Atara Hakaetoroho. Huturo Hashayaha.
Om
Natakaheta
Mani
Arhana.
Padme Hum.
Archuhotoro Hukana. Haturo Otana Haturaha. Kashiheka
Om
Hanahatita.
Mani Padme
Kanahatara
Hum.
Haketoro. Hutura Hana Arihita. Kanahasisa Aya Hakahuruhuta.
Om Mani
Kanatara Hatuta.
Padme Hum.
Ashkanahatita Arahata. Konoto
Om
Urhata
Mani
Atara Hakaya.
Padme
Anaha.
Hum. Moving up to Sahasrara.
Hutahata
Mani
Nahata
Padme
Arihesotoroha. Kanahatara Hishaya. Kurahatara Hikataraha. Haturo
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Kuturu Ukanahati. Shaya Katarahana. Atuhureataraha.
Om
Anaki
Mani
Rahaya
Padme
Ashurahoka.
Hum.
Kanihisa Taharihotora. Kanata Arihitora Hashaya.
Om
Kanata Arhakaya.
Mani Padme
Kanata
Hum.
Arhushoyo. Itoro Hokatara Hanatita. Akshiyara.
Om
Arkanahatida.
Mani Padme
Utoro Hoya.
Hum.
Akanahatara Akiyata Hata. Konotara. Kanati
Om
Iriataraha.
Mani Padme
Uhuturu
Hum.
Uhunota Arihita. Niti Ariataharana. Kushahira
Om
Narira.
Mani
Aturu
Padme
Uhunoto
Hum.
Uchiaria. Arakanahatitiaria. Achakarota Otora Hanatita.
Om Mani
Aturu
Padme
Nahatitiaria.
Hum.
Kanata Arhiso Koto. Utariacha Anahatira. Haturu
Om Mani
Ushaya.
Padme
Kananitiara.
Hum.
Haturu Ukonoto Utahayata. Kachiheriata Arhana.
Om
Kachituko
Mani
Utahana Editiara.
Padme Hum.
Haturu Ushana Hatitaha. Konoto Urhatata Arhita.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Konoto Urhutatara Hitaa. Hana itaha. Acha
Om
ihuka.
Mani
Una halaya.
Padme
Anaha.
Hum.
Kashiha.
Moving up to Vyapini.
Konoto
Om
utohuto
Mani
tahayata.
Padme Hum.
Kanata arhishaya atarihisoto utaha. Neti arihakata.
Om
Atuhuta arshishaya.
Mani
Nata
Padme
atita hatare
Hum.
arha. Kona hatiri ariha. Konoto uruhukotora hashaya.
Om
Hihisha
Mani
kanata
Padme
arhikotoro
Hum.
hukoto. Ititi ariata anahatita. Koshoshoto.
Om
Riatara.
Mani
Kanata hati
Padme
ariata
Hum.
hatoro hoko. Huturu kanahasiriara. Nate iti arahatata
Om
arishkoto.
Mani Padme
Kashihikota.
Hum.
Anahasa ayeta harahata. Itoro. Oh, onaheta.
Om
Tiriariata
Mani
aha.
Padme Hum.
Arhokonoto urhukata. Achuto utahatiti ariata ana.
Om
Atuhurata.
Mani Padme Hum.
Atuhuracha arhasana ata. Hitorohoka.
Om
Hitorohoka.
Mani Padme
Hitorohoka.
Hum.
Nata atar haka esohoka. Ataharnehi titiareata.
Om
Achuhuroto
Mani
rahane
Padme Hum.
Achaharihiko Hosana Atihisa Atata Anha.
Om
Arahukotoro
Mani
Utanahatsiarea.
Padme Hum.
Arahukotor Hasanaha. Ishahaya Atarahuso Uko.
Om
Atura
Mani
Ukota
Padme Hum.
Anhasirata. Last one.
Om
Kanati
Mani
Itahanahati
Padme
Anahata.
Hum.
And a breath in for Aum. Aum. Kaniti Aryoto Horyoto. Stay here for as long as you like. Nioryochukuhuto Tati Aryata. Maybe even pause the video. No tukachat atari hakatati arhatauta. Hosho ukunahatatari hitsata adhikata hutorana atura ha shanati tiariata. When you are ready, niyariata hatata kananiyariata. Slowly bring your awareness back to the here and now. Tiyariyochukotoriata. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Niyariyochukotoria. Maybe invite in some gentle movement. Niyariyochukotokurihitata. Maybe shrug your shoulders. Niyariyahatata atananatiyarihakaturahaka. Haturahasha ekatarahanatatiriyarata. And when you are ready, open your eyes and welcome in the new now. Looks like it's going to rain again. 107:33. Apologize for the longevity. You are loved by your source, by your inner being, by the entire universe. 108. Some of the things that they shared with me during Nihoroto Utanata Ariatokuta. Sihikunori Uroto Onoto Atha. Katsihiti Ariata Anahatakayaha. Kusuutur Hushana Turi Atari Shkanani Ariata. Nire Hatar Hakaya Ashanati Ariata. It has no translation. And apparently what they're sharing, what they shared with me, they're not bringing it back to my awareness. So no to urikatiriata. If they bring it back, then it was meant to be shared. If they don't bring it back, it was meant for me. Nihututa ataria chikanadiariata. Yes. Ati nirta ataria chuko unonto urta. Kanahashia ataria tukuno niurato. Welcome back. Nohutaria shahetuta. I pull from many, many, many religious beliefs, philosophical beliefs, all because they served in this now. And anything that has been said, and I do not mean to disrespect any religion or any philosophical beliefs or any individual's beliefs. If it has been written down, it can point you to the truth. If it hasn't been said before, if it has been written down, it exists in the form and it contains truth of some form. But it is pointing you to the truth. It is leading the horses to water, but as the saying goes, you cannot make the horse drink. That is all of us. We can be invited to meditation, but it's up to us to drink from the water, from the wellspring, from the abundance of water from our heart center. The truth of our inner being, the freedom in our heart center. That's where everybody is leading us back to our source within, our God within, because that's where it all is. 1 1 1 1 1. Katita ataria cha atukana. Atukana shaya kutura achiaraha. All the mantras are tools to lead you to your inner being. All yoga is leading you to your inner being. That's where your moksha is. And all of the sacred texts of all the religions, all the philosophy, all the banter, all the conversations, all the debates that have ever happened are leading us in this here and this now to our heart centers, to our truth within, to live it. We are the living. We are the living truth. We are the living light. We are the living fire. We are the living flow of water and abundance. No matter what form of consciousness you are worthy. You are made of love. You are born of love. I don't know why it has not gone viral. I love my Lyra and Rap video. I have listened to it 100 times more than anyone else. Yes, I can't believe it either. Kotanatia, Totosha, Antaranatakashi. Contains all I need to know. Beep. Maybe I just made it for me. Maybe it was just channeled through me for me. It's enough. Clearly, I'm going to listen to it on the way home. Yeah, I feel you too. Maybe after you have a conversation, we can have a conversation. Congratulations, my friends. We have completed day number 54. We are halfway home to 108 days of listening to our inner being. I'm doing this for me. And if you're benefiting from it, I'm happy for you. All of us benefit by you contributing. 54 more days to go. Of bliss, of listening to our inner being. I'm curious to what my inner being is going to teach me tomorrow. In the new now. So I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss 1441. Longest video yet. Keniata arishkuntuta arieta tatariana. Shine on, kahia atananarieta, and make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Niriachuko uta artakana ashahiata rahanata.